This week on my so-called podcast, we'll be taking you back to September 13th, 1997.
That's right, Eric. We're going to discuss Cornershop's When I Was Born for the seventh time and the film The House of Yes from director Mark Waters.
Like the past. The movie never changes. It can't change, but every time you see it, it seems different because you're different. You see different things.
Hey, welcome back to another episode of my so-called podcast, the podcast that takes you back to a week in the 90s and listens to the radio and goes to the movies and, whatever's out, we're going to tell you all about it.
Yeah,
I'm Eric.
I'm
Eric Spiegel.
Eric Spiegel. And I'm Gary Linton. Yeah, that's right. We're a podcast. We go back to a week in the 90s. We talk about a movie, album. You said all that. This week?
Gary.
Yep.
What do you think of my new slogan?
I like it. I mean, I think we should get it on a shirt, maybe a tie.
I think it's gonna really be exciting. I think whenever that gets out there and it's sort of like a meme, like a hashtag or whatever.
Yeah. I would like to maybe if we could get some like yoga pants with it across the butt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It says, "Hey, we're going to be taking you back to a week in the 90s and we're going to listen to the radio
Yep.
and we're going to see what's at the movies."
That's right. My so-called podcast. I'm Eric.
It's going to be the coolest bumper sticker ever.
That's right. At the top, you heard we're talking about Cornershops, When I Was Born for the seventh time, and The House of Yes from the debut of director Mark Waters. We're going to talk about that in the second half of the podcast, so stay tuned. Week of September 13th, 1997. Just so you know, I know everybody's like, wait a minute, House of Yes came out in October of 97. I know everybody's on that, but this is actually when House of Yes was at the Toronto International Film Festival. That's right.
I like to call that TIFF, Gary. TIFF is what I like to call it.
I every time I hear you say it, I always think, are you calling me Tiffany? That's not my name, Eric.
No, I think that makes sense because I used to date Tiffany, the singer.
Yeah, that's right.
I can see where you'd be confused.
Right, and you always thought you were alone, but you never were. I was always there.
Wait, is this that Jesus?
Is this that what?
That Jesus poem with the footprints?
Oh, that's right.
Or,
yes. It was me carrying you and Tiffany, the pop star.
And Tiffany. Do you think Tiffany knows Tiffany Haddish?
Yeah, and Tiffany Amber Thiessen. I think they all get together.
Yeah, Tiffany party.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know any Tiffany's growing up?
I knew a Tiffany growing up. So.
Oh, so anyway, this is a podcast.
Yep.
Where we go back to a week in the 90s.
I've said all that already.
But did you say what it was?
Yeah, we were talking about When I Was Born for the seventh time and The House of Yes. I've said those.
Right.
Yeah.
I think you said that pre-theme song. I don't know if you said
no,
it
I said it after,
song.
and I said House of Yes was released at the Toronto International Film Festival.
Yeah. Sorry. That's where we got there from.
Yes.
Okay. I thought we were still talking about my slogan.
No.
So House of Yes was at TIFF.
Yes. And
Tiffany Haddish's house.
Yes.
Tiffany Haddish's House of Yes. Tyler Perry's House of Yes.
Tyler Perry's Tiffany Haddish's House of Yes.
The Reckoning.
Yeah.
So anyway, So I'll give it to you, Gary. I mean, TIFF is the legitimate beginning of a normal year's Oscar season.
Thanks for giving it to me, Eric. It's
a big deal. That's a big deal.
Was that the case back in September of 1997?
Yeah, I think it was.
Okay.
I think it was.
All right.
I think you dropped a movie at TIFF if you were thinking Best Picture. If you're studio.
And I'm pretty sure Mark Waters was thinking that when he was like, I'm going to go ahead and release The House of Yes at Toronto International Film Festival.
Well, fascinatingly enough, the whole thing was bankrolled by Tori Spelling's dad, so...
Yeah, right.
Was thinking, really.
Yeah.
Or I'm not sure what everyone was thinking.
Well, again, we'll get to that in the second half of the podcast. First half,
Sure.
we like to set the mood, put everybody in the 1997 mood.
Roll down your windows.
That's right.
Turn off the lights.
Okay.
Put your kids to sleep.
Yep.
Put your pets to bed.
Wait, am I... So wait, I'm driving. Because I'm rolling down the windows. Kids are asleep in the back seat. The pets are in bed in the trunk.
Perfect. And it's time for Setting the Mood in the 1990s with Gary and Eric.
That's right.
Doing trivia.
Yeah. Let's see. We have some trivia.
Oh. Forgot to press the all-important send button.
Yeah, that is important. Sometimes, like, I'm going to go ahead and email something, but I don't click send.
Or if I'm writing a joke email that's like super mean and I accidentally hit send.
Oh, and you're like, no.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Exactly.
That's exactly what happens.
So, Eric, we were just on I don't think we really need to. I know our listeners are rabid and they know, like, we were just talking about 1997 in our last live podcast. So we don't need to talk about what we were doing in 1997 again, do we?
Yeah, so I remember that really well. I was going back to my sophomore year of college.
Yep.
I had the real bad summer. The ladies.
Oh yeah.
Coming back to see some friends.
Yeah. September 97. Yeah, that was our sophomore year of university, or if we were Canadian, that's what we would call it.
I remember that.
Yeah. So, Eric, you have 15 points in trivia. I have a lonely 13. Unlucky
Does that
number.
mean I ask you first?
Yeah, that sounds right. Let's do that.
What late rap star did Puff Daddy and Faith Evans eulogize in I'll Be Missing You?
Okay, so I got a couple of choices to choose from. In 1997, I will go with the Notorious.
That guy from Run DMC.
That's right, Notorious B.I.G. or Biggie Smalls, or that's who it was.
Gary, that's correct.
Yay! Eric, what incomprehensible blaxploitation hero was spawned by the Chris Rock Show?
Chocolate Justice?
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
It's Pootie Tang.
Did I answer incorrectly and racistly?
A little racist. You should have just went with Dolomite or what was that?
Is Chocolate Justice anything?
No, I don't think so. Oh, Black Dynamite. Have you seen Black Dynamite?
No.
That's pretty funny. You should check that one out.
Chocolate Justice.
Oh, no.
Oh, that isn't a thing.
Nope.
Sorry, everybody.
Well, I guess we're going to have to work on our blaxploitation film. Give me Pam Grier.
What martial arts spoof was the last Chris Farley movie to be released during his lifetime?
That would have been Beverly Hills Ninja.
Let me just check the card here of 90s trivia, generic style. Beverly Hills Ninja it is.
All right.
Way to go, Garrett.
Thank you. What physician released a CD of original flute music titled A Very Still Life?
What physician released a CD of it?
Of original
Something?
flute music titled A Very Still Life. It shot up the charts, Eric. Remember? It was all over.
1997 Flout album that's a physician.
Yep. I didn't really shoot
is
up
it
the charts. If you think of more of a physician. Not that, I don't know. I don't have any hints for you. Sorry. I saw
C. Everett Koop.
Coop.
C. Everett Koop is my answer.
Okay. I saw CD and I was like, oh, it's a music question. It was Dr. Jack Kevorkian.
Oh my goodness,
Yeah.
I did not know that. Oh, it's like music that you put on while you're committing suicide?
I guess so. I mean,
Shot up the charts would have been a better joke for like a heroin addict.
That's true. You're right. Let me work on my jokes.
Okay, I guess I'll ask you another one.
Yeah.
What outfit swapped lawsuits with Amazon.com, that's a website,
Yep.
over which online bookseller?
Eric, can you give me that question again, please?
What outfit swapped lawsuits over which was the biggest online bookseller?
Oh, Barnes and Noble. Hey.
Right.
All right.
How I used to go to barnesandnoble.com and then go over to Amazon in a different tab and see who had it cheaper.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you would do that? I liked Borders Bookstore. That's one I enjoyed.
Yeah. I like both those places to go. I'm just talking about barnesandnoble.com.
I got you.
I think Amazon ended up buying that, didn't they?
Borders?
Barnes and Noble.
Oh, Barnes and Noble. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I guess who's the biggest then? What wheelchair-bound Mattel doll couldn't fit through the door of the Barbie dream house? Oh, this one's not so good, I thought.
Professor Xavier?
Who? Oh. Eric,
What was that?
her name was Becky.
Becky, the person with cerebral palsy or something?
I guess. I don't know.
Okay.
Well, I thought you would have gotten Pootie Tang. And...
Yeah, I've never seen Pootie Tang, and I have never watched the Chris Rock show. I'm aware that Pootie Tang has something to do with Louis C.K., I think.
Well, he wrote it. He was the head writer of Chris Rock show, and so he wrote Pootie Tang.
Right. So those are the things. Now I know more about Pootie Tang than I did earlier.
Excellent.
So mission
Look at that.
accomplished
Yeah,
on
you
this
come to the show.
podcast.
Well, so I feel I ran the table to get to 16.
You have 16, and I have
you
15.
Stayed at 15.
Wow. Those were some hard questions from you.
Eric, I just picked the cards that come to me.
I literally picked questions at random for you, too. I wasn't even seeing if they were easy or hard.
Yeah. So, okay. Well, so what we do next...
I mean, it's been a good fight is all I'm saying.
Yeah, okay. That's all you need to say.
You would say, hey, have you caught up on The Good Wife and The Good Fight yet?
No,
Yes, All Access?
I have not, no. House of Yes is...
Go ahead.
House of Yes is streaming on CBS All Access.
Yeah. So if I start watching The Good Fight on CBS All Access, will I be confused since I haven't watched any of The Good Wife?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, that's how most of the people who write the show are like, we got to make sure they've, don't give any story that unless you've seen The Good Wife.
It's all canon from the show The Good Wife, but otherwise you can't invent anything new.
Exactly. Okay, we're talking about, we're going to tell you what was on the radio when Cornershop released their album When I Was Born for the Seventh Time. I did not see whether this was a British release or the American release. This was just in September, the week of September 13th, 1997. So,
I would also like to know personally about this album when Brimful of Asha finally hit like MTV and started, like, when did I hear it at the mall, for example? Like, how long did it take from the time it was released to hearing it over loudspeakers?
I remember that video being, though, like, so, you know, you had MTV in the dorms, right?
Oh, I did. I loved it.
Yeah,
loved
exactly.
It.
So, you know what, though? I think Brimful of Asha would have been early 1997 because I remember it freshman year dorm. I have that as the video in our.
So you think like this album is their follow-up to that hit single?
I think it may have been, yeah.
The plot thickens.
Yeah, just like my my cake batter when I'm beating it.
Oh, I'm glad you weren't talking about like your eczema.
No, I don't want that to thicken. Okay, number 10 that week was "You Were Meant for Me" by Jewel.
You were meant for me. No, I was meant for you.
I think we talked about a Jewel album or Jewel song last time too.
Yeah, Jewel owned 1997.
Yeah, she did. Number 9 that week was "Barbie Girl" by Aqua. Yeah, I think they were probably talking about Becky in her wheelchair and how she couldn't fit in Barbie's mansion.
Now I kind of want to live in the universe where Professor Xavier visits Barbie and he's like, "You're a very tall girl."
Exactly. You're a mutant, Barbie.
I kind of made him into Sean Connery.
Well,
you're a very tall girl.
R.I.P. Sean Connery. Number 8 that week was "Semi-Charmed Life" by Third Eye Blind.
Dude, the sky was gold. I was dripping. I sipped sex to my nose, and it was she could go back there, someplace back there, dot smiling, and the pictures you would take, doing crystal method, lift you up until you break. It won't stop. Down, tick tock rhythm, a bump through the drop, and then bumped up.
All right,
hit that I was given, bumped again, and then the bumped again. I don't think I got all that right.
No, number 7 that week was "Two Become One" by the Spice Girls.
I need some love like I never needed love before.
How can I get some from you, baby? Something like that, right?
Had another love. Now I'm back for more.
Yeah, baby.
Set your spirit free. It's the only way to be.
Number 6 that week was "I'll Be Missing You" by Puff Daddy and Faith Evans. Hey, who got that question right?
Man. Between the trivia and the top 10 singles so far.
Yeah.
Nice. I like it.
I like it too.
That's by Puff Daddy and Faith Evans. And they released that super fast on CD single right after he died.
Well, yeah. Hold on. Wait for it, because here's number 5 is "How Do I Live" by Leanne Rimes.
From the motion picture Con Air.
Yeah, and then number 4, "Mo Money, Mo Problems," Notorious B.I.G. featuring Puff Daddy and Maze. So I mean, yeah, it's
a much preferable song, a much superior product to that Sting ripoff thing.
Yeah, that "I'll Be Missing You" was no good. Number 3 is
it's not a shameless cash grab because our young 20-something friend was shot. We're gonna have to make some money off that fast.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's horrible.
And it's a bad song.
Yep. Yeah. Right. And of course, Sting's not going to say no because,
I don't. Okay.
I exactly. I mean, it's
okay.
It's poor taste for me to say no, right? Right? It'd be poor taste.
Yeah. That's a really strange chapter of. We've got to do like a documentary about that, but like where the famous people were killing each other. And before they killed each other, they made songs about it, and there were videos about it on MTV. And then they killed each other.
Yeah, it was. It's crazy. It's crazy.
It's a really weird. It's almost like a game show host becoming president or something. It's really strange.
Eric,
it's a strange country.
We're living in the 90s here. We're not bringing up.
I'm just saying that could never happen.
No, of course not. Of course not.
Like, can you imagine Alex Trebek, R.I.P. and
R.I.P.
Being the president? Actually, yes, I could. That'd be fine.
I would. That'd be great. That'd be great. It's a shame he's Canadian, or was. R.I.P.
Number
Number 3 is "You Make Me Wanna" by Usher.
What do you think? I think that was on the top 10 songs last time.
Yeah.
What do you think Usher wants to do?
Yeah, we discussed that.
I just wondered if you had time to ponder it.
I'm not. No. Clean up his room because she's coming over. So he's like, I got to clean up my room.
Oh yeah, he wants to have a Zoom meeting.
Yeah, exactly. He's got to clean that toilet.
That's before Usher was in movies and stuff, I think.
I think so.
Boy, he's so young here. Look at him.
Yeah, he's a babe. Yeah, he's a babe. A babe in the woods.
He's a little guy.
Anyway, yeah, makes you want to play PlayStation, first gen, not the 5th gen.
I feel like the 4 is supposed to be a pretty good machine.
Yep. Number 2, "Quit Playing Games," parentheses, "with my heart," by the Backstreet Boys.
So this is first album, Backstreet, first album.
Yeah, Backstreet back. All right.
Yep, and quit playing games with my heart.
Yep.
Do you think at that point you knew the difference between the Backstreet Boys, like Faces, and the 98 Degrees Faces, and the
I still don't.
Other one, the NSYNC Faces?
No.
Well, you know who Justin Timberlake is.
I mean, is he the young lad that brought Sexy back?
He is.
Yeah.
That,
okay. Yeah.
He's that fellow that brought Sexy back. He's also a troll.
Oh yes. The nice young man who's a troll.
He was in the middle of the football contest a couple of years ago.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, contest. Yeah. And I can't believe that Janet would do that, and he had no culpability at all. Justin Timberlake, perfectly innocent. It was all Janet Jackson's fault.
I was making hot wings, and everybody screamed in the other room, and I came in and I missed it.
Oh, right. Yeah. Well, there we are.
I missed that moment of pop culture. It's like missing an eclipse or something.
Yeah. Number 1 that week, finally, number 1 was "Honey" by Mariah Carey. Mimi to her friends.
Mimi. She sure did own the 90s as well.
Yes, she did.
Like this.
But we don't want to play too much of it. We'll get sued.
By who?
By Mariah herself. She's very litigious.
She's living on that "All I Want for Christmas Is You" gravy train
until
she's dead.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure.
She's ready to get another big paycheck coming up here soon.
Like she's set for life with that one song.
That's right. Every Christmas or every January, I guess, she gets that huge paycheck that gets her through the whole year.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Like one year it's really heavily from Old Navy. The next year, Love Actually. The next year, whatever.
Right.
Yeah. She is. I
think she's getting some Apple money this year because I think Apple TV Plus is releasing some sort of Mariah Carey Christmas special.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that channel.
Yep.
I always forget about that one.
Sure. I mean, why wouldn't you?
I mean, I guess I have the ability to get it, but maybe not. I'm not sure. I think that's the problem.
It's on. Yeah, I mean, it is available on the Roku and Fire.
Yeah, that's the station with the most famous people, but the least people watching it.
That's right. Although,
here's a new Tom Hanks movie, and everybody's like, "What? Where? I don't see a new Tom Hanks movie."
Say that Ted Lasso is a very good show, and I recommend that if anybody has Apple TV Plus, should watch Ted Lasso.
I mean, there's got to be something good on there. I'm just not aware of it.
It's Ted
I already
Lasso.
forgot what you just said.
Ted Lasso.
Okay, maybe I'll remember now.
So
anyways, Gary, Cornershop.
Yes.
Hit the charts with this song "Brimful of Asha." I'm assuming it's the first time you ever heard of him. First time I ever heard of him.
Yes.
Band formed 1991 by we're gonna say Tajinder
To gender, yep.
or just Jinder maybe.
I think it's to gender. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, Tajinder Singh and his brother Avtar Singh, some other fellows. They came out of British indie rock scene in that time, and I guess either you knew that this album had spanned several genres, or you were only familiar with the single.
I was only familiar with the single, Eric, but I did, on the strength of that single, I went and got this album. Did you have this album? Did you buy the whole When I Was Born for the Seventh Time?
No, I think I think it would have fallen into a category of something I would have bought if I would have bought more CDs.
Oh,
like
okay.
it was just below the cutoff of like if I would have bought a new CD like that, which I did not do because I was a cheapskate. I would have probably bought this at some point. But because I did like that song.
Yeah.
But it was a gamble because I didn't know anything else on it. So you would have been just sort of. So you plopped down the $15.
I went and got the CD.
Album.
Yep.
And yeah, and so then you went home and you listened to it, and little Gary's like, "Okay, here we go.
Yep.
Press play." And what happened?
And I heard "Sleep on the Left Side," and I was like, "Yeah, okay, this was a good choice. I don't regret this purchase." And then "Brimful of Asha," and then third song, "Butter the Soul." I'm like, okay. Mm-hmm. But then, and I just let it keep going, and I got to, I'll go jump down to track 11. Good to be on the road back home again. I don't know. It's like, there you go. Yeah. I'm done.
I like that song.
That's a great song. That's been on so many mixtapes in my when I was making mixed CDs.
Oh, that was a Gary special.
That was yep. I was like, here you go. Good to be on the road back home again.
And everybody's like, "What's this?"
That's
like,
right.
One of my specialities.
That's right.
Ladies,
make way.
You're welcome.
Make way for Chattanooga. And then last track, Norwegian Wood. This bird has flown in Punjabi, and I had a whole mixed playlist, a covers playlist under the covers. I was like, yeah, here we go. Here's Beatles.
I love how you name your playlist something catchy, like you're going to sell it or something.
Exactly, yeah. So, I was happy with this album. It is all over the place. It's all different kind of, because you got some songs like "Sleep on the Left Side." It's almost Britpop-ish. Mm-hmm. Good to be on the road back home against country. You definitely got your "Funky Days Are Back Again." That's kind of a funky song, and
that sounds stupid.
Yeah, it's just kind of.
But there are songs on this album that I can only describe as we were watching a foreign movie, maybe like a Giallo movie from like the late 60s, and all of a sudden there's like a scene where they're having a really groovy party with like a lot of silk stuff and everybody's dancing, maybe smoking some reefer, and like the camera zooms in and out and there's like blurry effects. That's what some of these songs sound like to me.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're just kind of, some of them are just them jamming, I guess would be one way to describe it. They're just
jamming with we should say sitar and tambura and Indian kind of drums, special drum.
Let's see. I got some things here. Is that at the time, Spin magazine called Tajinder Singh a folk singer in a global village, and because of all the different influences on this album, and all the different I guess genres is the word I'm looking for.
Yeah, it's definitely multiple different genres. I can't tell if I would have been happy bringing this home or not, because if I was expecting sort of Britpop / whatever the heck you would call Brimful of Asha, the rest of the album doesn't really deliver any more of that, really.
Well, Sleep on the Left Side.
Sleep on the Left Side, yeah, it's definitely multiple different genres. I can't tell if I would have been happy bringing this home or not, because if I was expecting sort of Britpop / whatever the heck you would call Brimful of Asha, the rest of the album doesn't really deliver any more of that, really. Well, I'm saying the first two songs
Yeah, okay.
are really different than everything else.
Yes.
Not that I don't like some of the other stuff. Like, definitely you could take these, the ones without lyrics,
Yeah.
the
Well,
instrumentals.
there's
You could
one.
put those on in the background and have a really groovy night. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
well, yeah, I have. I've done that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been
I
groovy.
mean, you have the album, so it's free. You
Yeah,
just
yeah.
groove out whenever.
Yeah, I've had it for over 20 years now. And it's like, yeah,
Right.
hey, are we grooving? Let me go get Cornershops when I was born for the 7th time.
Do you have a black light?
I did back in 1997.
Do you have a lava light?
I did not. I've never had a lava light. You know, volcanoes are probably one of my biggest fears.
Well, that's a pretty good thing to be afraid of. I mean,
Yeah.
they're quite dangerous.
Exactly. So I'm not going to have a lava lamp because,
Oh, I see.
yeah.
You know it's not lava, right?
I mean, I guess I know now because you just told me.
Because it's made of glass, and if it were lava, it would just melt the glass.
Well,
And plus, how would you make that in a factory?
I mean, I guess everything you're saying right now makes sense to me, Eric. But in my heart of hearts, I'm just going to stay away from it.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, I don't think you're missing out on too much.
Yeah.
But it's kind of fun as a nightlight. You just leave it on, and you kind of watch it go wacky and fall asleep. It's nice.
You're saying it would add to the groove?
Yeah. The black light. I would not add in a strobe light. That'd be too much.
Yeah.
But
so
a
you're
black
saying,
light, maybe a poster of like a unicorn or a scene from the Lord of the Rings, something like that.
Okay.
That goes black light,
Yeah.
lava lamp, and then all the instrumentals off this album. And like, for example, like maybe like an herbal tea, for
Yeah.
example.
Well, you know what? You're talking my language.
Do you like the cover of Norwegian Wood?
I do. Yeah, I like that. It works.
I mean, it's sort of a musical statement because they're like,
Yeah.
hey, this is sort of.
Yeah, hey,
You kinda
Beatles.
took the sitar. And
Exactly.
it's not really yours.
That's right.
Dudes, white guys.
We're gonna take
That's
that.
pretty brave of them to do it, being a British band too.
Yeah. Yep.
It's cheeky, if you know what I mean.
I
That's
think
what
I
the Brits
do.
would say.
Yeah, I think I do know what you mean.
And the name Cornershop is also cheeky, right? Because it's
Yeah.
like a racist thing to say Indian immigrants have the corner store.
That's correct. Yeah. He was very bold.
Yeah.
I think so. And another British music is kind of that punk rock attitude. He definitely, there's not very much punk on. I wouldn't say any of these songs are punk. Some later ones, I would say.
They aren't.
No, none of them. The Hand Cream for the Generation, the album after this, there's maybe a little bit more of I would say some of the songs are a little more rocking, and you can maybe even say they're a punk.
Have you wait, when did that come out?
That came out in 2002.
Oh, so you can tell us all about what you think about that.
Yeah, I liked that one, so I had high expectations. So I even went back into Woman's Gotta Have It, too. That was their first album. That's how much I enjoyed When I Was Born for the 7th time.
I mean, you can't argue with that. Woman's gotta have it.
That's right, yeah. That one was... I was disappointed with their first album, and I guess I was disappointed with Hand Cream for a Generation, the follow-up album. It was actually 6 years later, right? 5 years later.
I mean, the band getting famous on its second album rarely has a massively awesome first album.
Yeah,
unless it's like the indie EP with most of the same songs on it or something.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So,
Yeah, we blew all our good songs on the first album, but for some reason the second one's better.
Yeah. So
there's got to be more slumps, the more common way to do that. But I think that band Live, wasn't that their second album?
Oh, Throwing Copper was their second album? Maybe.
Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know.
Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. So, did you like the album?
Oh, When I Was Born for the 7th time?
Yeah.
Yes, I did like it. I liked it.
And how often do you listen to it?
These days, I haven't listened to it all that much. It's not like it's something, but I enjoyed revisiting it very much for this podcast. You know, I listened to it again, and I was like, yeah, this was all good stuff. I was able to just click play on the CD and be like, yeah, dig it.
Yeah,
I'm
until
grooving.
you got to the Funky Times or whatever.
Yeah,
I don't need that song.
No, and it was fine. Even it's you know what it is.
But I liked it. I liked learning more about Cornershop. I enjoyed this album. I enjoyed listening to it. It suits me just fine not having invested a whole lot in it, you know, like just press and play and Spotify. But I do wonder what I would have thought of it had I brought it home in 1997. Because, you know, I might have been disappointed. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, whenever there's like multiple
Alan...
songs where he doesn't sing, I would have been like, what's going on here?
Oh, yeah. There's Allen Ginsberg is doing the vocals on one song.
Mm-hmm. You like the Beat Poets, do you?
Yeah, you know, I love Naked Lunch.
Yeah. Well, you know, that guy likes to talk about drugs a lot
Sure.
for some reason.
Well, I think he liked his drugs. So, you know.
I think that's probably part of it. Yeah.
I think that's about it.
You got anything else you want to say about Cornershop's When I Was Born for the 7th time before we rate it?
No, I think it's a... No, I don't think I have anything else to say. I guess I can say that, you know, Singe was quoted as saying, "It's something for everyone. Country to brunch with hip-hop, cricket on the lawn with Pujambi folk music, and a square dance before dinner with the most righteous of beats."
Nice.
Yep.
I like it.
Yeah.
That sounds good to me.
Yeah, that's it. That's Cornershop When I Was Born for the 7th time.
4 stars would be like well-deserved classic status. 3 stars, pretty good, holds up pretty well. You should check it out if you haven't.
Yep.
I still like it. 2 stars is like, well, you know what? That's probably why I don't listen to this that often. Now I know.
Yep.
And 1 star is like, oh, come on, get off our back. We were you know, 19 years old, you know? Yeah, it's just, what do we know, you know?
We didn't know what good music was. Come on.
We didn't know. We were just whatever, you know?
Yeah.
We were just crazy kids.
That's right.
That's what 1 stars is.
We were just following the crowd.
Yep. To the Cornershop album.
That's right.
The whole crowd was going towards that, for sure.
I'm going to give it 3 stars. 3 stars. 3 stars.
Yeah. I think that's right. I think I'd give it like 2 3/4. So I might as well
Cool.
round up.
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm glad we went back there. In the second half, we're going to be talking about House of Yes, Mark Waters.
Yeah, he adapted the stage play. Even he wrote it. It's his baby.
Yeah, I think Tori Aaron Spelling's baby is more pertinent.
Sure.
We'll come back in the second half.
All right.
Marty Pascal is bringing his new fiancée home for the holidays.
Here's car. Marty!
There's only one problem. He hasn't told his twin sister.
Leslie and I are engaged.
Did you give your sister her medication?
Her name is Jackie.
Did Marty tell you about me? How you were? How's that?
She lives in a white house.
When they came out of the room, Jackie's hand was holding Marty's.
And she's got her own ideas about family values.
What's the wildest place you've ever made love? I can't talk like that about your brother. Pretend he's not my brother. I do. Marty, you're home.
Now, she's about to put her house in order.
She doesn't seem like Marty's type.
They're getting married, Jackie.
Hey, welcome back to my so-called podcast. I am still Gary Linton. And with me,
And I am still Eric Spiegel.
that's right. We are still my so-called podcast. That was the whimsical, wacky trailer to The House of Yes.
I kind of forgot that dorky Miramax trailer voice guy.
Yeah. This is a Miramax film. We will discuss it. First, we will talk about the movies that were at the box office. Eric, I think you are going to give us that list of the top 10 movies that were at
Kind
the
of
box office.
what was tearing up the charts? Is that what you want to know?
That's what I want to
You
know.
always want to know what was tearing up the charts, but I'll tell you.
Give me them charts.
Number 10, George of the Jungle.
Ooh,
It had
Brendan
been out
Fraser.
for 9 weeks. It had made almost $100 million.
Hey, that's a pretty penny.
Number 9, Excess Baggage, starring Guillermo del Toro
And Alicia
and Alicia Keys.
Alicia Silver's. What's her name?
Well, his name is Benicio, not Guillermo, and
Oh,
her name
that's
is
right.
Alicia Silverstone.
Silverstone.
Number 8, a big hit movie, Conspiracy Theories, starring Julia Roberts and Mel Gibson, the biggest movie star in the world, Mel Gibson.
That's right. Yep. Yeah.
Number 7, Hoodlum, which I want to say maybe Lawrence Fishburne is in.
Maybe.
I'm not sure.
I don't remember.
19. If I'm wrong, it's racist too. $19 million. Number 6, Air Force One. Get off my plane. The big hit of the summer, $163 million. The box office. Doing what a lot of us would like to do, punching Gary Oldman in the face.
Yeah. Everyone would like to punch Gary Oldman.
Number 5, The Full Monty, starring the Full Monty of several unattractive British men.
Yeah. Wait, Robert Carlyle's not unattractive.
That's true. And Tom Wilkinson's a dish. But
Yes.
anyway, Full Monty, big Fox Searchlight picture, going up 278% at the box office. So slow release worked out well for that one. Made $6 million.
Yeah, word of mouth.
Number 4, Money Talks and Bullshit Walks.
Yeah, it's
starring
got Chris
Charles Sheen, I think, and Christopher Tucker.
and Heather Locklear.
I never saw it. Was it good?
I've never seen it either.
Okay, well, you never know. No, it's not a STD. It's a movie. It's called Fire Down Below.
Ha ha.
With, I believe, maybe Steven Seagal?
Oh, maybe. Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know. I think that's right. I think he might have directed this one. Here, we'll pause.
Oh, yeah.
this up.
You're right. Fire. I think you're right. Fire
Yeah.
Down Below, 1997. No, he directed by Felix, but it is Steven Spielberg. Felix Enrique Alcala.
Steven Seagal, you heathen, not Steven Spielberg.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he directed the one that takes place in Alaska, I think. I'm not sure what that one's called now.
Okay, well.
Number 2, G.I. Jane, starring a very bald and very determined Demi Moore.
On Deadly Ground is the one that Spielberg,
Yeah.
Steven Seagal directed.
Thank you. And number 1, movie by a little guy I like to call Dave Fincher. The Game.
The Game.
Opening Smackaroonies.
Nice.
Opening weekend. Polygram Filmed Entertainment. Totally a thing that exists now.
Yeah. You may want to check
I'm
your.
not sure.
check your
Remember when
research.
Michael Douglas was in like everything?
I do. Yes.
There was a period there it was like you couldn't really you weren't allowed to have a darkly lit thriller without having Michael Douglas's butt in it somewhere.
Haha. We talked about disclosure.
I mean, kids don't understand how much you used to have to look at Michael Douglas's butt if you wanted to see a moody erotic thriller.
That's true. That's right. Yep. You're like, I'm
there
gonna watch
was,
Basic
Fatal
Instinct.
Attraction,
Basic
Instinct, Disclosure,
Yep.
The Game, not erotic but a thriller.
Yep.
Perfect Murder.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's the king, man. He's the king.
He was Romancing the Stone.
Wonder Boys.
That's right. That's right.
I can't even think about Wonder Boys without getting really turned on.
His butt. Just walking around with it.
See, he did a nice pivot there with his career, though. He's like, you know what?
Yeah.
I know that I'm a grandpa type, and I'm just going to embrace it.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he's smart.
He's like, that's enough of my butt. They're like, do you want to be in Basic Instinct 2? And he's like, are you kidding me? Butt lately?
I'm not gonna get this button shape for Basic Instinct 2.
Not even worth it to me.
No, we're talking about the House of Yes.
No, we're not.
Yeah, what we're coming to.
We're talking about Michael Douglas movies. Okay, we can transition, I guess.
Yes. So this movie is based on a stage play, and it's very, very obvious that it was.
Yeah, you can hear the French guy snoring in the front row.
Exactly. Either this movie should have stayed a stage play, or it was acceptable. I mean, there was movie material there, I guess.
Can I go with C, which is I wish the play had never been written?
Yeah, you can go with that. I don't think
I cannot imagine a version of this that I would enjoy.
Okay. I think as I was watching it, I'm sure our listeners know you are a doctor who deals with some, mentally challenged people, and you have expressed in the past that Hollywood does not do justice. And I'm watching it, and I'm like, well, I know exactly Eric is not enjoying this.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say that it's really quite that, because I think they leave. What gets on my nerves is if they would really go into her. Can we talk about what this movie's about before we get into that?
Yeah, okay. We can talk about the recap.
I thought it was real bad. We can get that out of the way. Right. I was sort of shocked at Letterboxd. Was 3.3 out of 5. Rotten Tomatoes 62%. So I was I'm not saying that I'm right about this. It's just my personality.
Well, and I guess real quick, the reason we're talking about this right now is because of Thanksgiving. This is Thanksgiving week. It's coming out. Our podcast is dropping the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, and this movie takes place on Thanksgiving Day back in 82. Was it
83? Yeah. So on Thanksgiving 1983, Marty Pascal, not really the main character, but the inciting event in human form, travels, I think, from the city to Virginia somewhere. Visit his family, and so his family is his mother, his little brother, and his twin sister. Right. We meet actually them first, I think.
Yes, we do. We see a bit of a flashback, and to where
I thought that was pretty well done.
Yeah, agreed. And that's one where it's like, oh, okay, so this is the film part. This obviously was not. It couldn't have been done in the play.
I didn't know it was a play watching it, so I wasn't thinking that during the first part. It's like it meant to be a time that Marty filmed Jackie. Basically going through her a tour of the house that mimicked Jacqueline Kennedy, a tour to a camera crew of the White House, essentially. Yes. It cuts to mom, Mrs. Pascal, younger brother Anthony, and twin sister Jackie O, kind of living their life. And what they do, they're getting ready for Thanksgiving.
And a hurricane's happening.
A hurricane's happening. Not that that's supposed to be symbolic at all. But the real hurricane is Marty bringing his fiance to meet everybody on Thanksgiving. The mom, played by French actress Genevieve Bujold, Freddie Prinze Jr., who would later be quite a heartthrob in teen movies, plays the little brother. Tori Spelling is the fiance, and Josh Hamilton plays Marty Pascal, who he's a guy that I was like, I know him from somewhere, but that's all as far as I could get.
Yep.
And then Parker Posey is Jackie O, and that's the poster is Parker Posey as Jackie O. That's basically what they were filling the trailer with. Parker Posey as Jackie O. The Queen of Sundance probably made this sell more than the movie itself. She's an interesting. So she is super, super great in it. I can say that right now.
Yeah. She's. I mean, she's always great. Yeah, Parker Posey is a great actress, and she's able to endow her characters. Like we were watching High Fidelity, the show on Hulu, and she had a part in one episode, and I was, like when she came on screen, I was like, Parker Posey, great, she's great. She's,
Right. Right.
So
it's interesting because do you remember when in a second, but do you remember when she was in Waiting for Guffman, and it was kind of like, oh, that's kind of interesting that he would cast her in such a broad comedy.
Yep.
And she's really good in it. But I think before then, we all thought she was in like these sort of edgy things or like dark drama.
Yeah. Well, right.
Whatever.
I mean, she was in Dazed and Confused, and she was kind of like the mean girl in Dazed and Confused. And she was just in some earlier stuff.
But in this movie, I think the thing that makes it a really great Parker Posey role, maybe the greatest, is that she's able to play to the comedy that she is really good at, but she's also got that really broken, serious side underneath, and she lets that come through in a way that I just feel like so many actresses would have screwed that up so badly, making her such a caricature, but she's really great at making it into a human being. I actually believed this. I actually did not have a problem with what her being called mentally ill because they were vague about it, right?
Okay,
There's even a part where the fiance mentally ill, you're just spoiled, and I think that the movie does sort of insinuate that perhaps her mental illness is just wealth and privilege.
Oh, yeah.
And maybe there's not much wrong with her other than that, but so that's what I was fine with. But there's just the poor quality of the movie surrounding Parker Posey with the problem.
What did you think of Freddie Prinze Jr.? I was surprised he had such a large role.
Yeah, he has a pretty large role.
It's pretty substantial.
Let's move along with the plot. It becomes clear in a scene where Freddie Prinze Jr., Anthony, to him at this Thanksgiving that Marty and Jackie had a previous incestuous relationship. This is the reason that Jackie bringing a girl home. This is the reason that the mom didn't really want the girl to come. They, I guess their father left the family on the day that Jack Kennedy was killed. And so after that, they would reenact the killing which is not really true because Jackie O didn't shoot Jack Kennedy, but
no,
she as dressed as Jackie O would shoot a blank at Marty, and then they would have sex. It's like that was their that was their foreplay, I guess, which they tell through acting it out rather than telling us all of this.
Yeah.
But really, that's all there's to it. There's also a scene where Anthony sleeps with the fiance, which seemed to strain the already strained credibility of the film.
Yeah. It was kind of like...
He says he's got, she's upset that she saw that he's sleeping with his sister, so she goes upstairs and he says he's got a brain tumor or something.
Oh, yeah. I don't remember that. Maybe. I mean, he clearly... So he's taken with her right away. You kind of see that. He's like... Leslie, right? Was that her name? Anthony was infatuated with Tori Spelling's character right away, and he's kind of hounding her the whole time. He's asking her inappropriate questions and just trying to... So it's not... They kind of set up his character. It's just like, why was she doing that? And, to be fair, she regrets it right away. And she's like, look, I was pretending you were your brother and I was trying to get back at him. And it's kind of like, I don't know if I'm really buying any of that. And I mean, they for the movie tries, but I think it fails.
Yeah. I mean, I believe Jackie O, but I do not quite believe Marty's character. So I don't think we ever really fully get him figured out very much.
No, yeah.
he wants to live a normal life, but he's also compelled by his sister. I think you got to actor than this guy to sell that. Like,
Yeah.
I believe this guy wants to have a normal life with Tori Spelling. I believe that part of it with this actor. I do not believe that he is anywhere near something going on in his life that Jackie O character act the way she does about him. Like, you'd need to sell that to me. You would have to be super compelling or attractive or whatever. Like, I don't know. I think that it is sort of interesting how they try to make their relationship kind of sexy. Like, they don't treat it as like the fact of life in this house that they've got the hots for each other.
Yeah. I guess that's interesting. Cause yeah, it is pretty taboo. And then, Anthony, Freddie Prinze Jr. says that he's like, not only are you brother and sister, you're twins. That's the worst. Being
right.
twins.
The ultimate.
Yeah. So.
And I mean, it's not like the only thing that I've ever seen where a brother and sister were in love with one another.
No, yeah, that's
so. And I feel like you kind of get that right away. I don't think there's a whole lot of mileage that it gets in shocking us with it. Is all I'm saying. And then afterwards, it's sort of like, what are they? What story they're trying to tell? Like they set everything up, and it's like, yep, isn't that a thing? I just feel like there's not much of a play here.
No, there's not. Yeah, it's kind of, you get to, so, I mean, the big payoff is like she shoots him, and she shot him before. I guess that was kind of another thing.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, and that's the thing with stage plays is, you got to dole out this information over the course of it because it is all just one setting. And so you're like, okay, I'm watching this, and then some information comes out, and there you have conversations about that, and then it's like, oh, okay, here's another bit of information. All right, have a conversation about that. That's kind of the standard for plays. And so we find out that Jackie O had shot Marty once before, and that
when he tried to leave.
Yep. And so, and then we see the gun.
So that makes sense that him coming home would be making everybody nervous.
Right. Yeah. And then the mom, where'd you get that gun? Yeah. It's all kind of,
now, do they insinuate that the mother killed the father, or that he left and never came back?
So they never really say, because Jackie O says mom killed dad, but then Marty's like, no, dad left. He left that day. He walked, and so
unclear.
Yeah, exactly. We don't get Anthony to be like, well, this is what actually happened. I will be the.
Yeah, so you ask about what I thought about Freddie Prinze. Speaking of Anthony, he plays him as a half-wit that is not really up to speed on much of anything, and is easily sort of influenced and bowled over by anybody. But then he immediately reveals his brother and sister's deepest, darkest secret to a stranger.
Yeah.
In the hopes of sleeping with her. So his character makes zero sense to me.
Yeah, I agree. I don't
brother and sister are going to be having sex, and you're not going to know about it.
Right. I just didn't buy where he was coming from, and I don't know. It's probably a weakness in the script of, but also the same with how you said Marty. A better actor may have been able to do more than that. Nothing against Freddie Prinze Jr., but
he's not good in this.
I
don't know if he's ever really been good in anything.
I mean, he's fine as Fred in the Scooby-Doo movies. He really is able to sell that.
Touche. I've never seen that.
Okay.
But Matthew Lillard's in those too. It's a real reunion of heartthrobs.
Well, right. Well, and then who plays young Jackie O in the footage is Rachel Lee Cook.
Right. She's
all that.
Right, and then Freddie Prinze Jr. would rob the cradle later with that.
Yeah.
Isn't he in that?
She's all that. Yeah, he's the one who takes off her glasses and was like, "Look at that! You're pretty under these glasses."
Yeah. You know who else is in that movie? Usher.
Oh yeah. What do you think he wanted him? What was she making him want to do?
Dance, I think.
Oh,
or
maybe.
teach other
Yeah.
people to dance.
That's
That's what
right.
he does in She's All That.
That's right.
I think that movie was popular because it had that right about now, the funk soul brother, check it out now.
Fat
The
Boy
Funk Soul
Slim
Brother. Yep.
remixed Brimful of Asha.
Oh, wow. How about that?
There you go.
Well, how about that?
That's right. 1997. What a year.
So if I have to say the best thing about House of Yes, I would say it's got an okay atmosphere in the sense that it's this dark sort of feeling of it's a house with no personality other than being sort of cold, dark, and foreboding. Nothing feels lived in. Everything's kind of open and dark and scary. The hurricane outside adds to that, and it seems very late at night, like the whole first 2/3 of the movie.
Yeah.
And so all that atmosphere, especially being the Wednesday night before Thanksgiving, I feel like there's something special about the Wednesday night before Thanksgiving.
It's Thanksgiving. I don't think it's the Wednesday night before Thanksgiving. I think it's
really?
Thursday. Yeah.
Oh, you think it's Thursday? Okay. I thought she was going to spend the night and then they were going to eat.
Well, I think no, because the power goes out and the mom's like, "Oh, the turkey's in the electric stove." They were going to have Thanksgiving that night, so...
Yeah, I don't really understand the logistics of that either. There's like all these dirty dishes. So this one woman is just cooking. This woman who's like super rich and prim and proper is going to cook a big dinner for everybody?
Well, they had it made, but Jackie O shot her brother.
Oh.
She says that.
You know what this seems like to me? It's like Wes Anderson had like a journal of ideas that he threw away because they were a little too on the nose.
Yeah. Yeah, and the other thing that I was reading is that the House of Yes is supposed to be like the House of Usher. Do you remember that Poe story? Because that is also about a brother and a sister, and the outside weather does reflect the storm that's raging inside the house, and as the house crumbles, so does.
So, the guy who made Bride of Frankenstein,
Frank Waller, Wally.
It isn't Wally. He's a robot that picks up trash on
No,
Earth.
but it's something like that. Because I remember Gods and Monsters.
Yeah. It is. So anyway, so that director, he made another.
James Whale.
James Whale with a W. Yeah. He made this other movie called The Old Dark House that I watched recently, and it was like in between his other more famous monster movies. He made it. Yep. And it's interesting because it's about these people in a storm that have to stop at the old dark house, and when they get there, everybody's. And it was a strange analog to watching The House of Yes, because I had watched it pretty recently, like a month ago. I found a lot more to enjoy in the old dark house than I did in the House of Yes.
Well, yeah, I believe James Whale.
Mostly because they didn't wink at the audience. Really, it was just sort of like they were just weird people, and they were acting weird. Of them too. It'd be like if you imagine like there'd be Jackie O, but there'd be like a few other weirdos. I don't know. I just feel like it's what it feels like is one of two things to me. One would be like a high school student writes a play.
Yeah.
And it's okay. You're like, wow, that wasn't that bad for a child.
Yes.
And the other is that it just feels like it's really, really satisfied with itself, like way too satisfied with itself the whole time. Like, I don't think it's as clever as it thinks it is.
Oh, yeah, I can see that. It's too busy patting itself on the back to actually be interesting.
Or have a plot.
That's right. I say no to the House of Yes.
This has been Gene Shalit.
Exactly.
I'll see you next time between the aisles.
House of Yes, more like the Shack of No.
Did you watch this back in the olden days?
No, but I did have a poster. So I worked at Blockbuster movie rental. So back in the 90s, there was you would go to a place and you would rent VHS cassettes and you'd bring them home and you'd watch them. And I had the poster of Parker Posey dressed as Jackie O with a gun behind her back, looking totes adorbs, hanging in my room. But I never did watch the movie.
Did you ever watch Party Girl?
I never seen Party Girl.
We should watch that. That was the first time I became aware of Parker Posey as a thing. Oh, it looks like she dated Fisher Stevens. What has that guy got?
I mean, have you seen Short Circuit?
Yes.
Well, have you seen Hackers?
Yes.
I mean, he comes skateboarding in.
Yeah, I don't get him. You remember when he was on a show on Fox called like Key West, and he was like a detective in Key West, and he rode around on a moped?
I remember the show Key West. I don't remember Fisher Stevens riding around on a moped.
I think he was the star.
Sure. I didn't actually watch it. I remember it existing.
So you may ask why we're talking about the show Key West. It's because we've kind of run out of things to say about the film The House of Yes. Because really, that's the whole movie. That's the whole ass movie.
We're done. We don't need to keep our listener here any longer. Thanks for listening to my so-called podcast.
Wait, we got to rate it.
Oh,
dude.
That's right. 4 stars is you got your I guess your Jackie Kennedy. 3 stars is your best Truman. No. 3 stars, Michelle Obama. I'm putting her up there. Okay.
Yeah, she might be better than Jackie, but go ahead.
Okay. 4 stars, Michelle Obama. All right.
Thank you.
Yes. 3 stars, Lady Bird Johnson. Just for the name alone. I don't even know what she did. All right.
Tolerated LBJ.
Exactly.
She planted a lot of wildflowers in and around Austin.
Yes. 2 stars. We're gonna go with Betty Ford. She helped a lot of people with her.
With her clinic.
Exactly. And then 1 star. Barbara Bush.
Barbara Bush is great. How about Melania Trump?
Oh, yeah, Melania Trump. There we go. What are you going to give House of Yes, Eric?
I'm going to give House of Yes 1.5 stars, and that is only for Parker Posey.
Yeah.
That's the only one that gets that 1.5 star. Everybody else gets nothing. They go home empty-handed.
You get nothing.
Don't even ask because I don't have anything left. I already gave it all to Parker Posey.
Yeah, I'll give it 2 stars. We didn't even talk about Tori Spelling. She was fine. I didn't actually have any problems with her. I don't think she was doing anything great. I mean,
Tori Spelling is an odd-looking woman that got several jobs in Hollywood via nepotism. Yeah. And everybody looks at her and sees the nepotism, so it's hard to be objective. Yeah. I think she is just okay in this, but not terrible.
Yeah.
Sort of like I was at a high school play at times with her line delivery. It didn't help that all the lines are terrible. So it's like, it sounds like aliens talking, like trying to learn English in some of these scenes.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know. She's not terrible. I wouldn't say that's the most grating thing about the movie. She is an odd-looking woman, though.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that she was a lot of her scenes are against Freddie Prinze Jr., she definitely comes across as the better actor in those two between those two.
Oh, that is a sick burn.
Yeah. Ouch. Well, all right then.
Well, thanks for listening to my so-called podcast Thanksgiving edition. Enjoy your turkeys, everybody, and gobble, gobble. We'll be joining you with a trip back to probably holiday season favorites from the 90s in a couple weeks. I've been Eric Spiegel.
I've been Gary Linton.
Bye-bye.